This is an explainer for the series, The Dream Door 2018. Sit back and enjoy watching. Jill and Tom had just finished playing cards. Suddenly, an extra horizontal door appeared in the wall. They carefully opened the door. But they were startled by what they saw inside and stepped back in fear. Inside was a deformed baby without hands and feet. Both of them were deeply puzzled. It seemed surreal, a baby born out of thin air. Tom wanted to pick it up. As soon as his hand touched the baby, its skin began to crumble, and it cried out in pain. Jill had to step in herself. She gently cradled the baby in her arms and claimed it was their child. But Tom showed no joy at the idea of becoming a father. Instead, he seemed overwhelmed by shock and disbelief. Why did this deformed baby suddenly appear out of nowhere? The story begins a few days earlier. Jill and Tom had just gotten married and recently moved into a new house. Jill suspected her husband of cheating when she saw him at the supermarket. After returning home, Jill confronted Tom about the woman he was seen with at the supermarket. Tom was evasive and couldn't give a straight answer. The confrontation quickly escalated into an argument. The tension lingered even as they went to bed, weighing heavily on Jill's mind. The next day, something strange happened. A mysterious door appeared in their basement. They clearly remembered that this spot had always been just a plain wall. Tom tried to open the door. But no matter how hard he tried, it wouldn't budge. So he called his best friend, Ian, for help. They decided to try brute force to open the door. However, even that didn't work. Frustrated, Ian grabbed a shotgun to try again. They kept at it for hours until finally the doorknob gave way. When they opened the door, they found a long, eerie corridor inside. Faced with this mysterious space, curiosity compelled the three of them to investigate further. At the end of the corridor, they found yet another door. The only difference was that this door had a palm print on it. Ian prepared to use the crowbar again to force it open. But Jill stopped him. She pointed out that, based on the distance, this location seemed to lead to their neighbor's basement. The three of them went to knock on their neighbor Charlie's door. After explaining the situation, Charlie took them down to his basement to investigate. Strangely enough, they found no sign of a door in his basement. The three apologized and quickly left. They decided to call a locksmith for help. But the locksmith sighed when he saw the door. He admitted there was nothing he could do, despite trying several different tools. It was all in vain. Frustrated, they decided to leave it for the night. The next day, Jill visited her psychiatrist. From their conversation, it was clear Jill was a regular patient. Anything negative in her life seemed to trigger anxiety for Jill. The mysterious door from the night before was still weighing on her. Her husband's interaction with another woman at the supermarket also added to her unease. It left her feeling deeply insecure, and her psychiatrist advised her to work on controlling her paranoia. That evening, Tom told Jill he was heading to Ian's place for a barbecue. Jill agreed outwardly, but her expression darkened. She secretly followed Tom. Sure enough, she saw him arrive at an unfamiliar location. Inside, there was a strange woman. Jill returned home, overwhelmed by a mix of emotions. She was about to grab a drink when she heard a strange noise coming from the basement. It reminded her of the mysterious basement door. Her curiosity about what was behind the door grew stronger. She decided to check the door alone. Jill guessed that the palm print on the door might be the key to opening it. Sure enough, the door opened with ease this time. The space inside was vast. As her flashlight illuminated the room, her gaze moved cautiously. She spotted a clown staring blankly at a wall. Jill's heart raced in terror. The next moment, the clown lunged at her. Strangely enough, the clown didn't harm Jill. Instead, it darted out of the room like a wild animal. After the incident, Jill called the police. The police were skeptical of Jill's account. Jill noticed her neighbor Charlie greeting her. He seemed unusually concerned about what had happened to Jill. He even mentioned some strange details about the clown. But Jill didn't take his words seriously. The next day, Jill became increasingly upset as she thought about the woman at the supermarket. She secretly copied the woman's phone number from Tom's phone and decided to call her. Sure enough, she managed to reach the woman. The woman told Jill to tell Tom to stop contacting her. She even threatened to file a restraining order if he didn't stop. That night, Jill confronted Tom, demanding to know why he kept contacting the woman. Tom was furious at Jill for invading his privacy by checking his phone. The argument between them quickly escalated. Neither of them noticed the faint sounds coming from the basement. Frustrated, Tom stormed out of the house. Meanwhile, the clown was lurking outside the window, watching their argument unfold. Jill decided to visit Ian, Tom's close friend, hoping to get some clarity. She bluntly asked Ian if Tom was seeing another woman behind her back. Ian was taken aback by the question and hesitated to respond. He dismissively said, "Why would Tom bother with someone like her?" Jill was enraged by his condescending remark. Suddenly, the lights in the room started flickering. Their frustration and anger boiled over. They began shouting at each other, airing all their grievances. Neither of them noticed the clown standing outside the door, its posture unnervingly unnatural. Suddenly, the clown burst in, wielding a knife. It tackled Ian to the ground. The clown began stabbing Ian repeatedly. Jill froze in terror, unable to move. All she could do was scream, "Stop." She could only watch helplessly as Ian was killed. However, the clown paused as if awaiting further commands. It abruptly stopped attacking Ian. Not only did it refrain from attacking Jill, it performed a bizarre dance, almost as if trying to please her. It was eerily reminiscent of a pet seeking its owner's approval. Shortly after, the police arrived at the scene. Jill claimed she didn't recognize the attacker. After speaking with the police, Jill rushed back home. She retrieved an old notebook from her childhood belongings. To her shock, a clown she had drawn as a child bore a striking resemblance to the killer clown. After staring at the drawing in disbelief, she quickly hid the notebook. The following day, Jill visited her childhood home. She tore open the wall inside the closet. Behind it, she discovered a small hidden door. When she opened it, she found the decayed remains of a clown. Back home, Jill reached out to Charlie, her neighbor, to ask about the clown. She remembered Charlie mentioning the clown before. Jill began to suspect that the clown in her basement was somehow created by her. It turned out that Jill had been drawing clowns since she was a child. One night, Jill was startled awake by a strange noise. To her shock, a new door had appeared in her bedroom. When she cautiously opened the door, the clown emerged. However, the clown didn't seem to intend any harm toward Jill. It began performing various odd movements as if trying to entertain her. Jill thought it might just be a figment of her imagination or a childhood dream brought to life. But the clown's sudden reappearance was too real to ignore. She recalled the argument at Ian's house. The clown seemed to have reacted to her emotional turmoil. That's why it attacked and killed Ian. Meanwhile, Tom was deeply shaken by Ian's death. He decided to visit a local spa to de-stress. Back at home, Jill discovered a message. It was from the same woman she'd seen at the supermarket. The message warned Tom to stay away from her family. Jill became emotional after reading the message. The lights in her house started to flicker erratically. At the spa, Tom had no idea that danger was looming. Suddenly, a strange white liquid dripped onto his forehead. When he opened his eyes, the clown was standing above him, ready to strike. Tom was paralyzed with fear. He didn't even have time to get dressed as he bolted out of the spa. He managed to start his car just before the clown could catch him. Unfortunately, Tom lost control of the car and crashed. The clown walked away, seemingly satisfied. Luckily, Charlie arrived just in time. Tom escaped with minor injuries. After the incident, Jill and Tom sought help from Charlie. Charlie revealed that he too had the ability to summon doors and objects from his imagination. He demonstrated his ability right in front of them. With a dramatic effort, Charlie managed to summon a door on the wall through sheer willpower. When the door opened, a cat-like creature emerged. Charlie explained that with proper control, Jill could potentially command the clown to do her bidding. The three of them headed to Jill's basement to summon the clown. Charlie explained that Jill needed to be emotionally triggered for the clown to manifest. Tom reluctantly confessed his connection to the woman from the supermarket. He revealed that before he and Jill got married, he had an affair with the woman. Tom suspected that the woman might be pregnant with his child. That's why he had been trying to contact her. He needed to confirm if the child was his. Jill was devastated upon hearing this. Her emotional turmoil immediately triggered the clown's appearance. The clown, like an old friend from her childhood, performed playful gestures to calm Jill down. It was almost as if they were reconnecting after years apart. Jill and the clown embraced. Following Charlie's instructions, Jill managed to control the clown and make it lie down peacefully. Meanwhile, the woman from the supermarket contacted Tom again. Jill happened to witness the interaction. Rage bubbled within her once more. The lights in her home began to flicker wildly. Charlie realized the situation was escalating. He quickly tried to contain the situation by blocking the door. Jill attempted to regain control of her emotions, but her anger had already taken over. Unfortunately, it was too late. The clown nearly approached Tom and stabbed the woman, revealed to be Lisa, in a horrifying attack. Tom and Lisa fled the scene together. The clown pursued them relentlessly. Tom and Lisa ran to a nearby swimming facility for safety. However, they found the exit sealed shut. The clown caught up to them in no time. It dragged Tom into the pool with a terrifying leap. Jill and Charlie arrived just in time. They saw Tom desperately struggling against the clown underwater. Realizing Tom was on the verge of drowning, Charlie instructed Jill to focus and regain control. She concentrated all her efforts on controlling the clown. After several agonizing attempts, the clown finally released Tom. Tom swam to safety. Charlie continued to coach Jill on controlling the clown. Jill channeled her heartbreak into focusing on the clown. The clown began to swell unnaturally before finally exploding into a burst of liquid. It dissolved into a pool of white liquid and vanished completely. The trio helped Lisa to the hospital for treatment. Lisa revealed to Jill that the child was not Tom's. She had only reached out to Tom to deliver the news. Over the next few days, Jill frequently visited Charlie. With his guidance, Jill learned to control the appearance of doors. However, her skills were far from perfected. The creatures she summoned, like small rabbits, only lasted a few moments. Tom grew suspicious of Charlie's intentions. He believed Charlie was hiding something. When confronted by the couple, Charlie finally revealed his true motivations. He confessed to having killed their neighbor. He had done it all to get close to Jill. He believed that with their powers combined, they could create even more powerful beings. Shocked by Charlie's deranged mindset, Jill decided to report him to the authorities. After Charlie was arrested, the tension between Jill and Tom eased. This brought them back to where the story began. Since the child they created was a manifestation of Jill's imagination, she hadn't fully mastered the ability yet. That's why the child was born incomplete. While in the police car, Charlie summoned a towering, menacing creature. The creature leapt onto the police car, shattering the windshield. Using a makeshift weapon, it tore through the glass with ease. The officers fired their weapons in panic. The creature was unaffected by the bullets. After dispatching the officers, it sought out Tom and Jill. Charlie ordered the creature to attack Jill and Tom. Jill and Tom ran for their lives, eventually taking refuge in a nearby villa. To defeat the creature, Jill focused all her energy on summoning the clown. As the creature approached with a chainsaw, the clown appeared just in time, performing an acrobatic flip to block the attack. The ultimate showdown between the clown and the creature began. The clown skillfully dodged the creature's relentless attacks. With incredible precision, the clown grabbed the chainsaw and sliced the creature in half. Jill and Tom seized the moment to counterattack. "Wait. Look," Jill exclaimed. "We can't kill all the creatures he summoned. Even if we do, Charlie will just create more of them. The only way to stop this is to kill Charlie himself." Jill realized that killing Charlie would make all the creatures vanish. As they pursued Charlie, the creature, though cut in half, began regenerating. Charlie retreated to the villa, with Jill, Tom, and the clown following closely behind. When Jill opened the door, she discovered that Charlie had conjured countless doors throughout the villa. Without hesitation, Jill and Charlie engaged in a fierce battle. The clown joined the fray to assist Jill, but the creature grabbed the clown from behind, stabbing him in the chest with the chainsaw. Tom rushed forward and barricaded the door. Jill and Tom combined their efforts to stab Charlie with a knife. The creature burst through the door, ready to attack. Jill pushed Tom out of harm's way. Charlie never anticipated that his plans would be foiled by his adversaries working together. As Charlie's heart stopped, all the doors he had created vanished. The creature collapsed and dissolved into nothingness. The story ends there. See you next time.